They say when a woman's tears touch the ground too often, even the earth begins to pity her. That was the story of Mama Adaora, a woman life had beaten but not broken. She had 7 children, 7 mouths to feed, 7 hearts to raise, and no husband to help her. Her man had abandoned her for a younger woman in the city, leaving behind nothing but promises and pain. Life became a battlefield. Mama Adaora sold firewood by the roadside during the day and roasted corn by moonlight just to keep food on the table. Yet among her 7 children, there was one who made her heart dance, Adaora, her last born. She was bright, curious, full of light, the kind of child that gives a tired mother a reason to wake up every morning. One evening, while Mama Adaora sat outside counting her small earnings, a car drove into the compound. It was Uncle Chike, her husband's younger brother. He had come from the city, well-dressed, smelling of wealth and promise. "My dear sister, I can see you've been through a lot. Let Adaora come with me to the city. I'll put her in a good school, feed her well, and make her into something great." Mama Adaora's eyes filled with tears. Feeding 7 children wasn't a joke, and she had reached her limit. That night, as she packed Adaora's small bag, she knelt beside her bed and said, "My daughter, listen to your uncle. Respect him, obey him, he's a good man. And remember, Mama loves you more than life itself." Adaora nodded, tears filling her eyes. "I'll make you proud, Mama." The next morning, Uncle Chike came early. As the car left the dusty road of the village, Adaora turned around, watching her mother wave, her figure growing smaller with each turn until she disappeared behind the trees. The city dazzled her eyes, tall buildings, shining lights, and roads that never slept. When they reached Uncle Chike's mansion, Adaora's mouth fell open. It was grand, beautiful, like something out of a dream. There, she met his wife, Auntie Fioma, and their 2 children, Ebuka and Kamsi. They welcomed her warmly, but soon Auntie Fioma left for a business trip, promising to return in a few weeks. At first, everything was good. Adaora went to school, wore neat clothes, and ate 3 meals a day. She would often write letters to her mother and say, "Mama, I'm fine. Uncle Chike takes good care of me." As time went on, everything started changing. The house is quiet. A generator hums softly outside. Adaora sits cross-legged on the couch, the bluish light from the TV flickering on her skin. She's watching a Nollywood movie, half laughing, half sleepy. The front door creaks open. Uncle Chike walks in, still in his office shirt, sleeves rolled up, the smell of whiskey on his breath. He smiles too wide. "Still awake, Adaora?" he asks, pretending to sound casual. She nods politely, eyes darting towards the door. The tension is heavy like the air before a thunderstorm. He sits beside her, too close. Adaora shifts slightly, hugging her knees tighter. The next night, the same scene repeats, but this time, Uncle brings popcorn and sits even closer. He laughs at the TV, pretending to be friendly, eyes flicking nervously between the TV and the door again. Sunday afternoon. Adaora is in the living room, quietly folding laundry. Uncle Chike walks in and sighs dramatically. "You are such a good girl," he said softly, kneeling beside her. He places a hand on her shoulder, gently at first, like comfort, but it lingers too long. Adaora freezes. Her eyes dart to the family photo on the wall. Uncle, Auntie, Ifeoma, and their 2 kids smiling brightly. She whispers, "Uncle, please." He just smiles faintly. "Relax, Adaora. I'm only trying to help you feel loved." The final act eventually came into play one fateful evening. Uncle Chike called her into his room. "Come, Adara, help me fix my phone charger." When she entered, she noticed the strange movie playing on the TV that made her uncomfortable. As she reached for the charger, he looked at her in a way that made her heart beat fast. "You are growing up fast," he said. "Thank you, sir," she replied softly. Then his hand touched her shoulder. It lingered. She froze. "Uncle?" "Don't be scared," he whispered. "You trust me, don't you?" She tried to step back, but he held her arm tighter. "Your mother told you to do whatever I say," he said quietly. Adara's eyes filled with tears. She didn't understand what he was doing, but she knew it was wrong. Still, she was afraid to shout, afraid to disobey. And that night, her world shattered. The bathroom tap runs. Adara stands before the mirror, scrubbing her arms and neck with soap as if she could wash away the memory. Her eyes are red, her breathing shallow. She whispers, "Why me?" The next morning, Uncle Chike corners her in the kitchen. His tone is cold, serious. "If you tell anyone," he says, leaning close, "your mother will suffer. Do you want that?" Adara shakes her head quickly, her lips trembling. He pats her cheek with mock affection. "Good girl. Now go to school." She turns away, blinking fast, forcing herself not to cry as she grabs her school bag and walks out. Nighttime, Adara sits on her bed, clutching a small teddy bear her mother gave her. Tears glide silently down her cheeks. Her room is dimly lit by a desk lamp. The light catches the tremble in her hands. Her mother's voice echoes in her head. "Always respect your uncle, his family." Adara buries her face in the pillow. She's too young to understand what is happening, only that something inside her feels deeply wrong, and the pain she feels down there is unexplainable. Just as she wallowed in pain and tears, she heard a footstep in the corridor. She sat quietly, clutching her teddy as if her life depended on it, as she knew what was about to happen again. Uncle Chike's shadow as he tiptoes down the hallway. He pauses, looks around, then turns the handle of Adara's door. Click, the door locks. Inside, Adara sits upright in shock. The dim blue light from the window cuts across her face, showing terror and disbelief. His voice is low and persuasive, almost whispering. "It's just between us, okay?" Days passed. Adara changed. She smiled less. She laughed less. When her mother came to visit 2 weeks later, she tried to speak, but fear held her tongue. "Mama, Uncle Chike entered the room, smiling. "Ah, sister, your daughter is doing well. Don't worry, I'll take good care of her." Mama Adara's heart eased. "Thank you, my brother," she said, not knowing the devil she was thanking. When she left, Uncle Chike returned to his dark ways. But that fateful day, his evil met its own trap. He called Adara again into his room. "Come," he said, "I got you more biscuits. Let's play our usual game." Tears rolled down her face. "But uncle, it hurts." "Don't worry," he said, locking the door halfway. Or so he thought. Outside, a taxi horn blares. Auntie Fioma steps out, dragging her luggage, exhausted from her business trip. She yawns, smiles tiredly, and calls out, "Chike, I'm home." The house is oddly silent. She frowns and heads upstairs, the sound of her heels echoing on the tiles. She reaches the bedroom door. It's half open. She pushes gently and freezes. Inside, she sees what no wife should ever see. What she saw froze her blood. Her husband on top of a little girl. Sometimes the danger is not on the street, it's inside the home. Evil doesn't always come wearing rags. Sometimes it comes dressed in respectability and family ties.
parents.
Teach them that obedience has limits and that silence can destroy more than disobedience ever will.
Don't assume safety just because someone shares your blood. Teach your children that their bodies belong to them. I'll ask you, was Mama Adaora wrong for letting her child go knowing she needed help? And what's one lesson you are taking away from this story?
Comment your thoughts below. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt stories like this. See you in the next one. Thank you, and God bless.